Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High on this Monday edition. Daily High is a good name for this show because the price of Bitcoin looks quite good. Tone, good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning. I'm good. Still out here in the woods. It was a great weekend. Was barbecuing. Check out my Instagram. I got to post yesterday's videos. Was out hiking, and
What is your Instagram handle, by the way? Is it in the links in the description below?
it's not. But it's just tone vase. Like everything is tone vase. Just got to look for those check
Oh,
marks to
I
avoid.
get added. I get added by a Tone Vase once a week.
Yeah, you just got to look for that check mark. I have to now pay to make sure people don't get scammed for those check marks. But yeah, it's just tone vase, no spaces, no hyper, no underscores, no nothing.
Yeah, and if you're a boomer watching this, to have a look when Tone Vase adds you as a friend. Check out who he's. You'll see you'll have mutual friends. If
Yeah.
I'm in there, you know it's him. If he's got no friends that you know, if I'm not a friend of his, then that ain't him. All right. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. You know, I'm really happy. I got back to the gym today. I didn't train for Philippines at all. I didn't train at all. I was completely out of out of training. So luckily the fight only went for like less than a minute. And I'm finally back in the gym today. So I'm going to be fighting in Singapore. It's going to be massive. And just while I'm on the topic, for those of you who know me, my favorite film of all time is Bloodsport. My favorite soundtrack of all time is Bloodsport. I think the movie's fantastic. You've all seen it. And I've always wanted to be Frank Dukes. Like I love this guy. I love his look. I love everything about him. But I'm realizing that I'm Ray Jackson. This is me. This is I'm not the good-looking muscles from Brussels. I'm the fucking this dude, and I fight pretty similar to him as well. So that's just something that is dawned on me as I've gotten older.
I haven't watched that movie in probably 20 years. I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, I'll send you. I've got the soundtrack here on vinyl. I'll send
No,
it
we'll watch
across.
it. Next time I'm in Japan, we gotta set up we gotta set up a video night. All right, let's go to church.
We'll do a screaming of it. All right, here we go. All right, so new week started. Fantastic, right? We did exactly what I said on Friday's show that I wanted to happen. I wanted to close this week above the 7 simple moving average, which we did. Fantastic. Now, this is a really crucial week for me looking at the weekly because this could turn into a red star on the MRI and then push down lower. But I wouldn't be worried about that at all if it is to happen. And on the lower time frames, I'll show you what I'm looking for. But as it stands right now, I'm looking at this as a great opportunity to launch from here. Maybe not this week. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd have to get above to flip the MRI count, which Tone will talk about, over 108. We'll call it 109, which is possible. But I would love it to like just close at that area right at the top, maybe get close to like a new weekly all-time high close, and then next week be the one that really kicks off. We'll see. Tone will look at that. But we're in no hurry. Consolidation up here at the top is great. It's no problem. The EXA has had this like cross here. Just something to keep in mind. Like it was money back here when it crossed negative, but from a way higher spot at +3, and it obviously back down here it was just money as well. We can go back and review that right now. That cross came in on this candle back here in December 16, and then when it finally got that cross again was back here on the beautiful MRI buy there. Great once again. So it has crossed. So we'll keep an eye on that. There is a bit of a divergence coming through on the EMA, not EMA, what's called the RSI, but I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm fine with that until it's something to worry about, and it's not for me right now. The purple phantom signal came in a month ago, and this is exactly what can absolutely happen very regularly, where the purple phantom comes in, you get a few weeks of consolidation before it really kicks off. It is really as you can see here, it came in here. We had 6 weeks of consolidation before some great upside. This one just went straight off, but it's a long-term swing biased indicator. And for me, all systems go on the weekly time frame. Nothing more to report. The daily is really interesting. Okay, we have come back up right now, and we're stuck exactly right now on a couple of crucial moving averages for me on the daily, which is the 7 simple moving average and the 30. This I want to see it just for safety's sake get above it. But I really love, and I mentioned this last week, we came back, tested the 50, came back up, boosted back up, but couldn't put in a new high, came back down, retested the 50 once again. And so now we're stuck in this spot between the 50 and the 30, but with a bit of momentum, we can clear this. Tomorrow morning, we close above the 30 simple moving average and perhaps the 7. Tomorrow's MRI count, everything looks really, really strong for some positive momentum upside. And it's a really good spot as well because this, and it's way clearer even on the 4-hour time frame. But as long as we stay above the 50, I'm not looking for any downside. I don't even want to. I don't want to entertain the idea, although it's as possible as 50-50. But I'm not looking to entertain it. The 4-hour was your money shot. For some reason, you all saw it on Friday's show. This had a green diamond on it inside the green wave, but through some glitch, it was already printed during that candle. As far as I know, we weren't on that candle when the show was happening, and we just closed above the conditions. I believe that there's some kind of weird reason. I don't know why. There should be a green diamond here as well, which once again, let's just pretend it is there. It was there on Friday's show. If you're paying attention, the green diamond inside the green wave is your money shot. That's the one. That's that one we always look for. We got it back on the 25th. Magic. We got it back here on we got it back on the 5th. We got it on the 12th. 25th is the year, obviously. And now we're back up in a really good spot. We did finally clear the cluster of moving averages here. It's rounding off here. Brilliant. I can see this coming back down, retesting the 200, the 7 and the 30 on the 4-hour, and then making its way back up. That would be a totally predictable and fine thing to do, having done the breakout. This is a really textbook, what I consider a higher low with that second diamond here. But then also inside that higher low, there was another higher low, which was put on back here. So that's the W pattern there. The first attempt at the breakout, which everyone would have been really red hot on, but it got stuck below the 200. That was the absolute. I would never buy that because it's too obvious a trade. I even saw Crypto's W pattern breakout imminent like that, and he had a little measured move in. That's fool's money. Coming up to touch the 200 on exactly the breakout on its first attempt, not for me. Second attempt, 100%. It's like a damn wall that got broken. That was easy trade. Bangbox, I think all the bots are in trades right now, all in profit. So that's go ahead and check out that. A black box, I should say. Go ahead and check out black box. But 4-hour looks really fine. So I'm loving this, loving it across the board. Go check out these great promos we've got here for Blowfin, and of course we've got BitGet as well. They're the best two exchanges that I use and I trust with my hard-earned cashola. I'm trying to come back now. That's why I'm meandering this conversation. Give me a sec. Yeah.
What Matt says hard-earned, it literally means he hard-earned.
Yeah, and yeah, look, join the Discord group. It's on fire. There's with great trade setups there. We have everything you need to know about the bots, and it's all there. It's all free for you. The bots have been looking really good, and it's there for you to use if you want to use it. Go ahead, Tone. What do you got for us, mate? Am I way off base?
No, it was great. I'm gonna jump in on my screen share. Someone in the audience says the Bitcoin to Euro chart looks different than the Bitcoin to USD chart. Yes, of course it does. And yeah. Right, the Bitcoin to the Indian rupee would look different, and Bitcoin to the Venezuelan peso would look different. But looking at the price,
can I talk about that for a second? Because this is a really, really, really key point. So let's say you bought Bitcoin back in 2018. We'll call it $3,100, like I did back in 2018, right? Now, the interesting part about that is we got to an all-time high in the Australian dollar, which I purchased Bitcoin in the Australian dollar way before we got to an all-time high in the US dollar. That is because the depreciation of the the appreciation of the Australian US dollar to the Australian dollar. So it's in a weird world. Let's just say I bought Bitcoin at $3,000 6-7 years ago, and the price of Bitcoin was at exactly parity at the same price I bought it at, there is still about a 30% profit on that trade, having put the money that's pegged in US dollars and getting it out of the Australian dollar at that time. I know that sounds insane, but there's putting your money into Bitcoin is also a hedge against your shitty currency. And a lot of people don't get that. And it's a big part of what you're talking about there about the euro. There you go.
Right. And the other thing I was going to say was looking at Bitcoin in euros is about as useful as looking at Bitcoin in Venezuelan bolivars, because no one of relevance is buying Bitcoin in euros. Okay, Michael Saylor isn't spending euros to buy $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. He's spending dollars. Okay. BlackRock isn't, showing you the price of Bitcoin in euros. It's showing you the price of Bitcoin in dollars. So it's the price of Bitcoin in dollars that is driving the charts and the price action, because all the action is happening in dollars. Europe needs, people that are in Europe have to realize how irrelevant Europe is to the entire world. India is more important to the world than almost all the countries in Europe combined. That's where we are in human society at the moment. Okay, am I wrong on that?
No, I don't think you're wrong. It's a sad truth, but I don't think you're wrong. It's fun to tell your mom back home in Australia that like one Bitcoin is 170,000 Australian boomerangs, but it doesn't make any difference out here, right?
All right. Let's look at the charts real quick. So what's important to me on the weekly chart? There's a couple of things. One, we are continuing to stay above $100,000. That is actually important. The longer we stay in this consolidation, the more confidence I have that the next move is to the upside and not to the downside. And we've stayed here long enough that I'm now expecting the move to be to the upside. The move may not happen for another 3 months, or it can happen tomorrow. But the point is, I'm not expecting a move down. I'm expecting a move up. Another interesting factor is that we broke the MRI count, which is actually kind of good, because if we have another week of consolidation, the next week is going to be the price flip candle being a green one, making it really easy to pick up a green star candle. And you see what happened the last time we picked up a green star candle. Look at the nice move to the upside. We gained another, 15 to 20,000 before it topped out, right? So that's what I'm kind of looking for to get a green, to get a price flip. This candle, we would have to close at a new weekly closing high. I think that is pushing it a bit. I'm not expecting us to go that high. It's possible, but unlikely. We're going to close somewhere in the middle. If we close anything near 108 this week, I'll be happy. And then it makes it real easy for the next 2 weeks to give us green one and then a green star. So that's the weekly scale. On a daily scale, I'm also looking at it pretty positively. We bounced off of the 50-period moving average for the second time in a row this month. But I'll say the bad news first. We're not going to bounce off of it again, okay? Well, if we do bounce off of it again, it's going to be a very weak bounce, and then we're going to collapse. So goal number one, avoid coming back to the 50-period moving average. Goal number two, get an entire candle above the 20-period moving average, which hopefully happens tomorrow. You can already see the 20-period moving average is starting to tick up. So once we get into that 108 range, the 20-period moving average stays up. The moving averages never touch. They never cross. And then, again, once we make a new leg higher, which will not be easy, I do think we will very likely hit this resistance zone, and then there'll be a little bit of a test on the 20-period moving average again. We just can't get too close to the 50. And then we're out of the out of the danger zone, heading higher. So I do think that by early July, we should be hitting new all-time highs. Okay, so I am happy to see the current candle. We are working on a 4-day high.
Yeah, mate. Look, and just looking at what you've just drawn now, I love that. And I would prefer it take longer to break out and make this thing like a descending triangle. Make it stretch it out another month. I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but if we can stretch out for another like 2 months in this range before we break that descending line, it's going to break with a vengeance going into Q3.
Yeah, that's what I would like to see. I would like to see as a break this in early July, very early July. I want to see us break that. And these lines will separate because, and then,
That.
anyway, I do want to see a little more consolidation, but this consolidation at this point needs to stay above 105. It no longer needs to stay above 100. It now needs to stay above 105. And after about a week, it now needs to stay above 107. So it just doesn't have much wiggle room here. I would rather have us go up further, because if we continue in this path, we may, drop back down in a weekly form of consolidation. But I am leaning bullish here. I am more bullish than bearish right now. See, the daily is already on a price flip candle with a green one. And tomorrow could be a green star candle, which is nice. But we don't have any MRI completions here, right? We haven't had an MRI daily top or bottom since April. Wow. We've had some extensions completing, and we have no extensions anymore. We have fully completed all the extensions.
Hey, did you see I can do this? Look at this. I can highlight.
Yeah, I know.
Did you know we could do that? Interesting question.
I did know, but I forgot how to do that. But yes, I did know. Well, here's the thing, right? About that, I do want to mention that. Let me just finish the price of Bitcoin, and then I'll mention the price action with the Israeli conflict. The green diamond's gone. I remember seeing it earlier. That's interesting. I remember seeing it you gotta look at that glitch. The 4-hour chart, it's pulling back a bit. The market hasn't opened yet, and I think we're gonna be okay. If we can break this 4-hour high, I think the lows are high probability lows are in. On a 1-hour chart, looks about the same. Oh, look at that. 1-hour MRI top. We're pulling back. This red star candle will likely go away once market opens, but I don't time market open. Bitcoin dominance is doing well. Gold hit a new closing weekly high last week. And on a daily scale, gold is... it had a daily all-time high as well, so gold is looking great. Oil is pulling back some, which means that, smarter heads are prevailing, and there may not be a full-out war between Israel and Iran. And S&P is down today. That's not what I saw here. Okay, this is the cash chart. S&P was down on Friday because no one knew what to expect. Now that the weekend has passed, you can see right now the S&P is going to open at a new swing high, which means one of two things, okay? One of two things, I don't know which one. I'm going to lean towards one of them. It either means that cooler heads are prevailing and there is not going to be a full-on war between Iran and Israel, which drags U.S. into the war. Because a full-on war between Iran and Israel will drag U.S. into the war. So much for, a president that doesn't like war. But another thing is, if there is a full-on war between Israel and Iran, people are still confident that their money is safer in the stock market. Okay, so this is what this candle means. One of these two things. I don't know which one. I'm leaning towards there is not going to be a full-on war that drags U.S. into the market, but into the war. But the market is saying that the market is not scared of a full-on, war between U.S. and Iran. So I'm gonna trust the market. Yes, there is always panic, and I've said this on many, many shows. Whenever something weird happens, there's always panic because people want to go into cash because they don't know what to expect. After they have 3 to 4 days to think about what it all means, it could mean that, hey, it's better to just hold stocks in this, especially stocks that are going to benefit from some kind of military conflict. And since Bitcoin is grossly correlated with the stock market, a stock market going to a new all-time high in the next few weeks, regardless of war, is going to be good for Bitcoin as well, because Bitcoin is super correlated with the market. So that's all I have to say on that. And with Father's Day being yesterday, I haven't, I'm about 36 hours behind on my geopolitical news. So I don't really know if how it all ended. Last I heard, Iran was like literally firing into Tel Aviv. But I haven't, I don't know what happened with that. I haven't, I was just enjoying Father's Day and grilling and doing all this stuff. All right, Matt, that's pretty much it for me. I don't think we're going to look at stocks today, and we'll see. We can't. We'll do a few shows, but if the price hasn't changed tomorrow, there may not be a need for the show.
Yeah, I have to apologize to the chat. I've actually we're new to this software. I didn't even know that you could look at the chat at the same time, and I didn't know you could bring stuff up. So I'm going to stay away from the chat from now on because it got nasty pretty quickly. So I'm out of the chat again. I'm never looking at that again. You can all go fuck yourself. Just kidding. Well, yeah, as Tone said, if the price hasn't moved, we won't bring a show tomorrow. We'll definitely bring a show Wednesday if we can. But other than that, let's go Bitcoin. I think that we got a real shot here to do something special this week. All right. Have a lovely weekday. Lovely week. See you soon.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.